I'm excited to have our next guest on. It might sound a little bit like a Dr. Seuss rhyming scheme of phishing, smishing, and vishing. Having expert here, Roland Parker. Welcome back to the show, Roland.
Hey Sherman, great to be back on the show.
All right, so let's just dive into these weird words here. First, I think most people are familiar with phishing. Let's still talk about that because I think it's becoming ever more relevant as what's happening and being attacked by small to large to businesses and everything in between.
Yeah, so phishing has been around for a while. So phishing, as opposed to with an F, it's a PH. And basically what they're going to do is that they're going to send you an email pretending to be from somebody else. And they're wanting you to click on a link or an attachment to give out your credentials. Now, they may pretend to be from Microsoft. They could be pretending to be from your financial institution. And really what they're wanting you to do is that you click on the link. They're going to want you to put in an email and a password or to click on an attachment. Now, what that's going to do is give the bad guys the credentials to either your financial information or to your email or one of your social media accounts. One of the things that we saw on the rise was people who had business Facebooks, and it would come up and say that, you know, your account could be suspended because we've noticed that some of the ads that you've been doing have been disapproved, and you need to click here to approve it. You click on it, asks you for your email and password, and then nothing happens. So you go away and you think, okay, nothing seemed to happen, and you go on with your business. What you don't realize is that you've given away your credentials to that social media account. The same thing with your bank, same thing with your email. Says it's from Microsoft Office 365, your account's going to be suspended, you need to put in your email and password. Never click on a link, never click on an attachment. Now here's some of the tricks. If there's a link that's in there and you hover over it, if it looks like it's taking you somewhere strange, don't do it. If you look at where the sender's coming from, sometimes it's coming from an unusual email address. Number one thing, always go directly to source. So if it says it's your financial institution, well, guess what? Don't click on the link. Just go directly to your URL. Type it in at the top of the page and then check your bank account. If it says it's coming from Facebook, well, go directly to Facebook. Don't rely on that link, because even if it looks legitimate, they can have a hidden hyperlink within it that's going to take you to the scam website. So one, check the sender. Two, hover over that URL to see where it's taking you. Three, always go directly to the source. Never rely on that link, and trust everything with a link or an attachment with suspicion.
Now you talk a little bit about smishing. What is that?
So phishing came out first. The next thing to hit was smishing. What is smishing? Similar to phishing, except now they're sending the message to your cell phone. Part of the problem is they recently discovered that about 1 billion records were exposed on the dark web that linked people's cell phone numbers to their email address with their phone number, with their name. So now the bad guys have got people's name, email address, their address, and their cell phone number. And what they're doing is that they send you a text to your cell phone. And because you can't see where it's coming from, quite often people are responding to that. Now, we've talked in the past about how it's important to have two-factor authentication, and how the bad guys are now getting around two-factor authentication. They send you a text to your phone, they get you to click on a link or an attachment within that text message, and now what you've done is that you've given those credentials to the bad guys. So when they can now go log on, they get the two-factor authentication, and they're getting that message and they're logging on. So they are circumventing that two-factor authentication. So the one big thing if you're getting a text message from somebody that you don't know, straight suspicion. You've got to treat it with as a high risk thing. The second thing is, if you've got a text message that has got a link in it, just don't trust it. Delete the message. It's not worth it. Don't take that risk. This is going to be on the increase. It's on high alert at the moment, and with all those credentials out there, you know that you're going to start getting text messages. Don't respond to people that you don't know, and definitely do not click on any links that come in from a text message.
Great advice. That actually happened to me about 2 weeks ago. I got a text message saying that my Apple iPhone 14 and also other items from Amazon was being delayed. I knew it was a shim sham because I didn't order an iPhone. And instead, what I did is I called the phone number, and even that person sounded like legitimately they worked for Amazon, right? They had this amazing script, and I'm like, I'm not going to give you my credit card information because I didn't order this. So I knew it was a total scam right from the beginning, just because of what they're accusing or assuming that I was making. So just really, these criminals are amazingly persuasive. So final one, Roland, is Vishing. This again sounds like a little bit of a Dr. Seuss play on words, but what is Vishing?
So Vishing is the new thing that's coming out. And just like when you phone that number, what's happening? The bad guys are phoning you. And what they've done is that they've got very clever. They'll look at the area that you're in, and it looks like it's coming from a local phone number, 281 or 713 if you happen to be in this area, or an 832. We've seen a lot happen over summer where people were pretending to be from their energy company, and they would phone up and they said, look, your energy account hasn't been paid. We're phoning from TXU or Reliant or one of those companies, and they said, look, your electricity is going to be cut off, and if you don't give us your credit card information within the next 2 hours, your electricity is going to be cut off, and you've got to give us your credit card information. And a lot of people were going, well, I don't want my electricity to be cut off. It's in the middle of summer. That could be disastrous. So the thing is, never give out your credit card information over the phone. You don't know who you're dealing with. The best thing to do is log into your electricity account, or if they're phoning from your bank, log into your bank. Never give out that information. Always go directly to source. And if somebody says, look, they're going to cut off your electricity, log into your account. And if the amount is due, you can say, okay, I'm paying it now online, and I can send you the confirmation. But do it directly from the source. Never, ever, ever give out your credit card information or any other type of information from somebody that's phoned you out of the blue. Even if it sounds legitimate, they're going to be persuasive. They could start getting aggressive. Just don't accept it. Always go directly to the source.
Super great advice here, Roland. This sounds like really important information that needs to be told and shared. I'm sure that you have little strategies that you'll work with businesses to be able to help make sure that these employees are avoiding some of these scams. And if anyone, a viewer or listener, needs to get a hold of you and your team, how can they get a hold of you guys there at Impress Computers?
The best thing to do is give us a call, 281-647-9977, or reach us on the web at impresscomputers.tech. That's IMPRESS computers.tech, and we can sit down with you and develop a plan for employee training, putting email security in place, putting mobile security in place, and making sure that you stay protected and keep your financial assets secure.
Really appreciate that. We're going to take a quick commercial break and come right back with property management expert Elias Kemi. Thanks again, Roland.